Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call to order this public meeting of the Board of Johnson County Commissioners on this Monday, September 22nd, 2025 at 10 a.m. Please pray with us if you care to, and then we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you bow with me for a moment of prayer, please? Dear Heavenly Father, we have so many things to be thankful for today. We thank you for the multitude of blessings you bestow upon us. We thank you for the grace that has been given us through your Son, Jesus Christ. And Lord, we thank you for this nice rain this morning, a welcome addition to our area. Dear Lord, I'd just like to offer up a special prayer this morning in remembrance of Charlie Kirk and his family, his wife, and his two children. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Any public comments related to the agenda? If not, then we'll move on. White River Township Fire Chief Jeremy Pell to talk to us about the Texas deployment.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning, Jeremy.
I'm Jeremy Pell with the White River Township Fire Department, and this lovely lady is Canine Rosie. And I'll keep it short, but I have a very, very nice success story, not only for her, but for our county as a whole. Back in 2020 during COVID, someone abandoned Rosie and our animal shelter picked her up, and I was looking for a search dog. I've had trained dogs for 24 years, and you all know that I've been a firefighter here basically my entire adult life. In fact, it was Carrie. I evaluated her. My master trainer, mentor, Matt Zarella, said, "Hey, that's a wonderful story. Let's see if she can do the work." So she seemed to be able to do the work. And I asked Carrie, "What do I need to do?" And I'll never forget her words were, "You put her on a leash and put her in your truck and take her home." Like, okay. And 5 years later, she's certified as a trailing dog to find live people. She's certified for human remains, including water, crime scene, and light disaster. Sheriff Burgess has supported me. The department has supported me. We've gotten the training. We're International Police Work Dog Association trained and certified. And we came back from Texas. We spent 13 days in Texas searching for flood victims. So it's a success for our animal shelter. It's a success for public safety, for what our sheriff's department does, for the fire department and how we serve people. And I'd like to show you, if I can get that link up. Look at that. This is actually a success story for our GIS. I had a support team here. So we were called by Indiana Department of Homeland Security, and Texas did an EMAC, a state-to-state request for assistance. They wanted 4 teams. One was hard enough. I fielded and led one team, and it consisted of 5 people. There were 3 canines among those 5 people. So 3 canine handlers with their dogs, a support person, and then an EMS support person, and then a logistics person, which came from White River. We actually took our drone and got to use our drone. So this ArcGIS story map is not a PowerPoint presentation. As we scroll through, it describes what we did. These are actual pictures from Texas, and it also plots the points. So either if I could have a mouse, or if you could just scroll slowly enough that I can talk. So our very first, you're doing perfect. So if we could pause here, our very first day there, we learned we were staying in the town where a victim was lost, and that victim was the fire chief of the Marble Falls Area Fire Department. So we went to the station and paid our respects, and it really just got a little bit of information and supported them. The last time I checked a few weeks ago, they had still not found this chief. This was chief of department. So I don't know why God put us in that place at that time, or maybe I do, because I think it helped having another first responder sit down with those crews and just show that we cared. So that was our first day. Every morning we would have a briefing. The first morning, there were about 130 responders. So it was the K9 teams, and then water rescue teams, search specialists, incident commanders, safety officers, logistics. This is where we met. We worked 9 days straight, and they were long days. We had to stay an hour and a half away. So we got started at 5 a.m. And I know I was writing reports at 11 p.m. every night. The dogs worked. We didn't overwork them, but they worked all day. So this was day one, and you can scroll just a little bit faster. And this is what makes it an ArcGIS story map, in that this was our first operational day on the 13th. We were pulled off of the river, so we actually searched the Guadalupe River, and it was divided into sections. We started, I don't know, a couple miles downriver and worked our way back. To give you an idea, this day, I did about 2.5 miles. She did 2 or 3 times that, because I track my tracks. I now have a way to do searches and keep track of the searches I do, but I was also able to get access to FEMA's, it's called SARCOP. So if we have a disaster here in the county, then we'll have access to the same tools that FEMA has. You know, like I do, that the people in this room, our fire department, our sheriff, we're responsible at first. We're responsible for the whole thing, but we have another tornado. We need to be able to do this stuff. So I came back amazed at how a big operation like that works, and much more knowledgeable. So you can keep going. There are teammates. We did all different kinds of searches. We did shoreline searches. We did area searches. We ended up searching from a boat, and then we were doing targeted searches of rubble piles you'll see, and or debris piles you'll see here in just a few seconds. And what that did was it enabled responders to rule out catch points and then focus on areas where the dogs hid. If a dog's indicated someplace, you always backed it up with a second or a third. So we can go through this pretty quickly. So that's just a typical area there on the left. That was that big area search where the river swept. It actually just cut off a typical curve in the river and went straight over the lane. It was up to 40 feet depth in some areas. Okay, you can keep going. I thought this was really neat in how these are actual GPS marks based upon our tracks and where we drop marks. Okay, you can keep going. There's Toby. Okay, that's good. Yeah. The water level was above that bridge. That was a big area that we searched. Yeah, the whole thing was underwater. I've got some videos. They're not worth showing, but it was incredible. So you can keep going. We'll get down to the bottom. All this from a dog that was tied up to a tree. So I know Commissioner Baird has a passion
Yes, I
for
do.
our shelter, and it just goes to show that they definitely have a purpose. This was downtown Kerrville. There was one time that Rosie called the shots. She is so loyal and would do anything that I ask her to do. And I called up on a debris pile, and I'm, trying to feel it, make sure I don't fall through someplace. I'm like, come on, let's go, let's go. That dog stood there. And if she could have talked, I would have sworn she would have said, "You are dumb." That was the one pile she wouldn't get on. So you can keep. This is the college and our searches downtown Kerrville. The water day. We got an indication on the water. By the time we got down there, we were looking for the last like 3 people. But I know Rosie and I did 7.5 miles on the water that day in the boat. And then we got out and searched some of the islands. Okay, so each one of these points are areas that our 5-person team searched. We were about an hour and a half away, and I would say from Kerrville down to 4, that yellow dot, all the way to the far right was, I don't know, it was about a 20-minute drive. So we covered a lot of ground. We did Indiana and Johnson County proud because we had teams requesting us and moving us closer and closer to Kerrville, which was closer to Camp Mystic, which is where their areas of focus were. And then as we get down to the bottom, I'll show you the summary. Keep going. Every day. Okay, we would pause. Here's our a little bit more. There we go. I had this list of people that were on the team, and then the 2 support people, one from Ohio and one from Pennsylvania. They knew the technology. It was excellent having somebody with technology. I came to the conclusion it didn't matter if they were at a forward operating base a half mile away or in Indiana or in Pennsylvania. Okay, you can keep going. Every day we had vet checks. This is the basin. Every day we decon the dogs, we checked the humans, tried to get some rest. They took very good care of us. Texas A&M had vets on site. Okay, keep going. All right, and we'll pause right here. So on foot, the handlers covered almost 33 miles. And I told you we track our movements on GPS. The dogs would have covered 2 or 3 times that because they cast out and go left to right. Over 25 hours of actual searching. So that's not the days. We had 9 days straight that we were working 12 to 14-hour days, with travel and everything. Some of the debris piles were 2,000 square feet. They were 90 to 100 degree temperatures with flash floods. We got call off the river a couple times. Everybody came back safe. We served them well. I would say mission accomplished. And scroll down, I think that's it. But that's what I was working toward. Yep. Okay. Thank you for supporting us. Thanks for having an animal shelter, and thanks for giving people an opportunity to give these dogs a future. And thanks for believing in some of the things us crazy first responders do. Thanks to the sheriff and everybody that says, "Yeah, we want you to be able to do this."
We appreciate it, Chief, and I don't think there's anybody up here knows how it works more than I do.
Yeah, we have the same heart for that. I won't be able to express it. We know the county deals with mental health. We know that we deal with people that hurt. I know that I'm standing in front of a group of people that understand that ultimately what we do every day is just serve people. Rosie's my partner. She's my pal. She doesn't just go out and search for people. She keeps me sane some days, and she brings me joy and she gets my mind off some of the really tough things. And you can see she really doesn't like her job very much. But this has been our life for the last 5 years, is working and playing and spending time together. Carrie, I don't know. I don't know what I would have done had you not helped me find her. So, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh,
Thank you, Carrie.
thanks, sir. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
do you guys have any questions?
No,
Nope.
just thank you very much from bottom of our hearts,
Yep.
and I'm sure Texas does too.
Yeah, they were appreciative. From a practical perspective, I want you to know that the drones are an excellent tool. And the dogs are an excellent tool. We've got to have them. We have so many people that are early stages dementia and autism spectrum disorder, and we can put a dog on that trail and we can bring those people home in an hour or two. It is vital. And the experience Lieutenant Joel and I got in doing this, it bringing that knowledge back here to respond to not even just disasters, but serious events. It makes a difference. Thanks.
Thanks, Chief.
Good girl.
Routine matters consent agenda. Approval of annual agreements clerk, Wycon Systems. Approval to apply for grants, WIC, 2026 year grant. Execution of Health First Indiana agreement on behalf of Johnson County Health Department.
I have some questions on that.
Okay, resolution 2025-R-4. Resolution of Board of Commissioners of the County of Johnson approving the issuance of general obligation bonds of the county. Minutes for 9/28/2025, executive session minutes for 9/28/2025, 9/18/2025, and ratification of Ferguson construction work changes, proposal request number 4. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Becky, I had some questions on this grant to assist for $50,000. Having read through what they submitted, and they were looking, of course, for 249,154. And I'm just curious, are they going to be able to initiate this program with just $50,000, or do they need to get the whole 249 somewhere else? And I'm just curious on that.
Betsy Swearingen, Director at the Health Department. That original roughly $50,000 was their ask to the state of Indiana, and then those funds were taken when they took those COVID funds. How long ago was that, Tiffany?
Like in the summer at some point.
Yeah, they took some immunization grant funds from us. They took the feds took the money back from COVID. So then then they weren't funded at all. So with the 50,000, we'll get them going. And they're already going right now. They're just using all of their savings that they have to pay their forensic nurses to do the exam. So what this $50,000 will do is help cover those expenses until they can get some other grants in place.
All right, well, that was my real concern, whether they were going to be able to initiate the program or not.
We won't get to do it as big as we'd like to do it, but I think that this starts us right where we need to be and gets us going. And we've already had some success with we've had some 3 children got the services they needed and prosecuted the people that offended them. So it's been a great thing so far.
Thank you, Betsy.
I just have one thing on the WIC. I would like to move forward, Taylor. I know you've been working on that with a 5-year deal.
Yep.
So that's okay. Good with that.
That's the next.
Definitely.
Okay.
It's on the consent.
We're out there.
Oh, that's on consent?
No,
Consent.
it's one under, but you're okay.
I'll come back.
We just wanted to have it done.
I'm close. Clerk, oh, yeah, it is down.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the consent agenda. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Now WIC.
5-year lease. I'll repeat myself. There you go.
Sounds good.
So, no, I got over and visited the site. doing really well over there. Good building, good location. So. Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Betsy. Animal Shelter request to approach council for additional allocation of funds for professional services and utilities.
It's a grant. Sorry, I was misreading it.
Good morning, Carrie Clutchy, Director of Animal Shelter, Animal Control.
So,
The funds that I'm asking for additional allocations, the first two funds for professional services comes out of fees that the shelter charges. So this isn't any additional money from the council at all. The utilities is when we did our budget for this year, we didn't know how much the new building was going to affect our utilities, and it affects it quite a bit. So that's what that's for.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries.
So I do have two other quick things I just want to ask you about. Several months ago, we had come to you and asked to start the Pit Stop campaign, which is the flyers that have these little flyers. We've made tons of them. We've already gotten with the health department and then different businesses. This little packet is for the skate club in Franklin. We're taking those over this week. What we wanted to know is, would the commissioners allow us to do something in the public restrooms here at the annex?
To allow you to do what?
To put these in the restrooms here at the annex, the public restrooms, or even just the staff. Basically, it's just a flyer and it's got the QR code. So someone scans it. One tells them about opportunities like volunteering, and the other one gives them a list of all the adoptable pets.
I'd be in favor of putting them up, but not in the restroom.
That's
I mean,
okay. Where would you
got
like us to put 'em?
Visibility there. We get a lot of people go through the buildings that don't go to the restroom.
We've got our public board out here.
Yeah.
I think that would be appropriate. Put them out here on the public board.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing, I recently sat down with Verizon and went over our bill and did talk to them about a few things. One of the things that we're doing right now is we have a cell phone that is our on-call phone. So every time an officer is on call, they pass that phone back and forth. After talking to Verizon, we can get a plan. It's an app on their current cell phones that will, instead of having to pass the cell phone around, they will just put on do not disturb. So when dispatch calls them after hours, whoever's on call, their phone would ring. The plan, when it's all said and done, we will be paying $7.43 more a month for this plan, for this add-on. But we won't have to pass that phone around. Recently, one of our officers was very sick. He had to meet another officer halfway in the middle of the night to swap the cell phones while he was ill. This way, all they have to do is call each other. They make a change on their current cell phones and we can get rid of that. So we'll keep the cell phone number, so nothing changes with dispatch,
Yeah.
but that phone will no longer be needed.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
I think so too.
I don't think our policy covers that. Our handbook won't allow for that, will it?
Or, well, we need to review if there's an agreement, like, are you gonna present a contract?
There is no contract with it. It's just an app that adds on. We download an app to their phone. I have access to it online, so if someone leaves and they keep their cell phone, I can immediately remove that cell phone number from it, like until we get our cell phone back.
We'll just talk. We'll talk after this.
Okay,
I'm gonna circle back a little bit and I'll just make an approval to let you put your flyers up for the
Okay.
pit stop out here on the public.
Okay.
Then a motion.
Board, that's a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the public posting. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Motion carries.
Did you approve the actual things you came to do?
And we're just gonna move for Tiffany to review the phone.
Right. And then did you approve the allocation of the funds? I don't think so.
No, yes, we
Yes.
did.
We did,
Yes,
we
we
already
did.
did that? Okay.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
Mm.
Did you want a motion on looking at the?
Just a motion to review with legal before we give you a full blessing on that, on the phones, just
Sounds
make sure
good.
it's all in line.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. Planning and zoning approval of stormwater easement 45440 Warrior Trail Whiteland.
Good morning, Michelle Hansard, Director of Planning and Zoning. Before you is our stormwater easement that we have implemented with our stormwater ordinance that puts an easement over any detention systems, just to give us the ability to access that detention system if they fail to maintain it.
So,
In here.
I'm having trouble this morning for some reason, but anyway, I caught most of that and I moved to approve.
Yeah, can we get that mic turned up a little bit? I noticed
don't know
it's
whether it's
down.
me or the mic itself, but
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Discussion,
Discussion.
discussion.
Did they get all, this is the same one, I've talked to you about this, and I think for the last couple of years. Did they get all those millings removed out of there?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that we did. So, okay, second.
All those,
Aye.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Sorry about that. Highway, oh no, I'm sorry, public safety.
Keith Brandt, 911 Director. Just requesting to approach council for additional appropriation for overtime.
And Keith, we've had conversations on this before, and I know you have to a certain extent with some of the council members. I guess going forward, I just need to hear again, what's your plan on trying to eliminate this? And my explanation to one of the council members was I know for one thing that 911's doing more than just dispatching. I mean, the many things that you now offer in relation to the calls that you get, but the concern is how you're going to stem this going forward, and maybe just give us another brief overview of why it takes 8 months to train somebody.
Yeah, because the amount of technology that we're using, the last thing I want to do is put somebody, on the radio or on the phone that isn't proficient in, being able to handle all these situations. So I can tell you that one of the things that we're doing with council for 2026 is to bring our part-time rate up to match that of the full-time dispatchers and hopefully get some more part-time hours in. Maybe attract some other part-timers, because we rely on part-timers when we can't train somebody who's never done the job to become a part-time dispatcher, just because it takes 8 months to train somebody full-time is doing it every day. Just training somebody on a part-time basis, just so we rely on people who work for us full-time, have left to become firefighters or officers or something like that come back and work for us part-time, or people who work in other dispatch centers who come over and work for us part-time. So that's really where we rely. So hopefully with that increase in the part-time pay, we can attract some more part-timers to come in and pick up some of those hours. I can tell you that, we've gone from, our staffing levels are significantly better. We've only got two spots right now that we got to fill, as opposed to 2 years ago, we had 10. So we've changed the way we're training. We changed the way that we're hiring. I can tell you that, projected this year is going to be our lowest overtime year since 2021. We're going to be about $35,000 less than last year and about $66,000 less than 2023. So we're making changes. It's just with the amount of time it takes to train somebody and get them released to fill those holes in the schedule. It's just taking a while to see the results of that, but we are seeing it.
No, thank you. And I move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed.
See,
Thank you.
Who cares? Thanks, Heath. Highway. And gentlemen, if we could, I'd like to at least take the first four there, discuss those, since those are all kind of under the same definition of what they are, and that way we don't have to go through each single one for voting purposes.
Daniel Johnston, Highway Engineer. So the first item on our agenda is requesting your approval of a design supplement with Hanson Professional Services, excuse me. This is for our Bridge 602 on Smith Valley Road over the Louisville, Indianapolis Railroad.
Move to approve.
Let's just go down through.
Okay.
If you have any.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, if we have any questions, we'll come back to it, sir.
All right. The second is another contract amendment for design with Strand and Associates on our Bridge 85 project. This is actually a reduction, it ends up in a reduction in the overall contract. Third item. This is a new project that we were awarded funding from the MPO as part of their call for projects last fall. This is with Shrewsbury and Associates. This is our school zone flashing beacons project. This will install new speed limit flashing signs at schools in the unincorporated areas of the county.
Any questions on any of those four?
Just on Bridge 602, what's the timeline on that? I know that's been in the works for a good while, and there was consideration also of a interlocal agreement with Greenwood. Can you give us a brief update on where we might be in that regard?
Sure. So the purpose of this amendment will carry them through the completion of design. We're hoping we've received MPO funding for this project as well. Initially, we had NDOT funding through issues with the Duke Utilities, trying to coordinate that. We actually had to change funding sources. And I believe the fiscal year for those funds are 2028. So that's the timeline for that fiscal year is when construction will start.
So when do you expect it to let?
The letting date, I'll have to, the exact letting date that Hanson is targeting, I'll have to get back with you, but it should be in the fall of 27.
All right. And any, Luke, you got anything on the interlocal any updates there? No? Okay. Thank you.
And there's actually one more of the four, the Bridge 61.
Okay. Didn't know.
And that is just requesting your ratification for the NDOT LPA agreement for engineering services for Bridge 61, which is on 600 West, just slightly north of 300 South in Union Township.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve 1 through 4. Further. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now the last one, sir.
That is requesting your approval of a special event permit. This is by the Brentwood Homeowners Association. They're hosting a fall block party to occur on October 11th. This is going to be contingent upon submittal of their indemnification hold harmless agreement and also their certificate of insurance. All the checkpoint agencies have reviewed and approved.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. Board of Commissioners approval of Public Mass Transportation Fund CY 2026 operating assistance application.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further?
See, Becky's here if there's any questions, but
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Correction of award of contract for court administrator's office project. Do we want to discuss that or?
I mean, I would still stick with Vision Specialties Group.
I did confirm there was a difference in specification that would have changed the pricing the way it was approved. But they did agree to do it for the original price with the new specification inserted. So everything's good on that, just so you know.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Employee handbook changes.
Any questions?
I don't have any.
This was, yeah, there was cleanup language and, a policy. Our employee assistance program was in the handbook listing as full-time employees, but it's actually available to all employees. There was a clarification in what is considered FLSA overtime. That was a recommendation of our HR audit from Wiz. And the other was removal of the cell phone policy, which is why I will talk to Carrie later, but it wasn't being utilized. It was an old policy from when cell phones used to be itemized.
Flip phone?
Yeah, so something was removed.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Claims and credit card.
I went through the claims. I had several questions and Mickey and the auditor's department got me answers to all of them. One of them was, though, I gotta bring this up for the sheriff's department, a stretch fit poly spandex. And so the first thought that went through my mind, of course, to be like leotards or something of that nature. Turns out it's a beanie or some kind of reflective a hat that is worn. So I always like to check the shirt pretty close, you know, that.
Yeah, but I mean, my concern would be how you would look in spandex.
So I moved to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Under old business, and this was tabled from last week or 2 weeks ago. Ordinance number 2025-0-11, ordinance amending Title 35 of the Johnson County Code of Ordinances, first reading. And the basic change that was made in the ordinance was going from 300 feet to 500 feet for safety reasons.
Yep, move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. I have nothing else.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. We're adjourned. Thank you very much.
They have to.